This is KMJ at KMJNow.com or wherever you stream. Welcome to the Marc Kapetan Show. This is attorney Marc Kapetan, your host. Today's show is brought to you by the Kapetan Brothers Law Firm. We've been serving the Central Valley since 1995. If you or anybody you know has been injured in an auto accident, a truck accident, or a motorcycle accident, give the Kapetan Brothers a call at 559-498-8000. Or if you've been arrested or cited for a criminal offense, call the Kapetan Brothers, 559-498-8000. Kapetan Brothers, 559-498-8000. We're the Valley's law firm. Hey, folks, so I was in the restroom earlier.
What a way to start.
Where do I start this one? And I came across a guy, and I said, hey, come and do a radio show. Now, Marcella, I met this guy for the first time in the restroom. No, folks, as a kid, I saw Shamu, the killer whale at SeaWorld in San Diego. I knew right there and then I wanted to train dolphins and study marine life. In college, I studied environmental law with emphasis on marine biology, and I did a semester at the Moss Landing Marine Laboratories, which I loved, being near the beach. So naturally, I did what any kid with dreams would want to do. I went straight into law, right? I took a left turn and went into law. Never went into marine biology. I'm envious of guests like I have my next person here on the show, who has the stick-to-itness to have a childhood dream and turn it into a reality. In fact, a career, or in his case, a lifelong passion, I think. Only months after graduating college with a degree in mass communications and journalism, my next guest, an avid sports fan, started an internship with a local TV station as the sports reporter. For the next 23 years, maybe? 23 years, you saw him almost nightly on the sports report on local news. And to this day, you could hear his sports updates right here on KMJ. See how I could say that, right, Marcella? So for another segment of Meet the KMJ family right here on the Marc Kapetan Show, please welcome a name that I know you all are familiar with, George Takata. Welcome, George.
El Kapetan.
El Kapetan.
You've been called that before?
You know what? It's so funny. Yes, but we're from the East Coast.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what that referred to other than maybe it means the Kapetan. But someone told me, oh no, like the mountain up in Yosemite. So
big slab of granite named after you.
Well, it was named after us, yeah. Because I believe me, I'm as smart as a big slab of granite. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Hey, Takata, nice Japanese heritage there, right, buddy?
I'll fill you in on the name later.
Yeah, we'll talk all about it. Speaking about smart, folks, I am not sports smart at all. I went into a fantasy football league one year, and my first pick, first round draft, was Brett Favre. How about that?
Well, at least it wasn't a kicker. You didn't do that, or a defense.
Yeah. I came in second place that year. So
well, there you go. Brett Favre did you some favors.
He did. Yeah. Have you seen this there's like a new documentary on him? Have you seen it?
Yes, I watched it. Really weird.
Intense, really?
Yes. I don't want to give too much away.
No.
A relationship that with a young lady when they work at the Jets together, and then he never met her in person, just messaged her, and all the stuff with the state of Mississippi. Just I won't give too much away.
I didn't know it was that salacious of a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Brett Favre's not doing some favors there.
Exactly.
All right, listen, man. KMJ Sports, is this I understand you have a whole new career now that we'll talk about, but you do this KMJ Sports highlight that I hear every day because I actually do listen. I actually do listen in the morning to the morning show and stuff. Is this just your way of saying I got to keep my feet wet in this journalism area?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I could still get a press pass and go to any game I want. But I never do that. I don't do that. I could do that, but I don't. No, I'm just kidding. It is a great way to stay informed and to stay in the know, if you will. And KMJ gave me a great opportunity to be part of the morning show. The multi-award-winning award show.
Absolutely,
that I'm
right.
proud to be part of with CG and the guys and gals. So I really do love it. I thank Blake Taylor for the opportunity. When he called me out of the blue in my office at Reedley College, I said, "Sure, I'll do that."
Yeah,
and it's a good job. I mean, I work for KMJ. I'm never in the building until like for special occasions like this one. But I really enjoy what I do. It's a lot of fun.
Does it? What comes first as far? Listen, I know you were a sports fan as a kid. Obviously, you had to be to get into this job. Does watching sports, keeping up with sports, is it a matter of keeping up with your job, or are you just a junkie?
Junkie. It's not. Partially, it's because I have to keep up with everything because of the job.
Right.
Depends on. I don't really like hockey that much, but I'll keep track of the Stanley Cup Final and the playoffs to be informed and put it in the report.
Oh, by the way, I saw the last. It was the last 15 minutes of the game. I saw about 10 minutes of it, and I had to go and do something. Who won yesterday?
Florida.
Florida
Edmonton,
did.
Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, defeated Edmonton 2 years in a row to win the Cup. There you go.
Isn't that crazy that hey, that's the update from George Takata. I see you, folks. Isn't that crazy that a Florida team is the championship team in hockey, beating what is essentially the penultimate of hockey teams, Edmonton,
the Edmonton
right?
Oilers, Wayne Gretzky's old team, and
right.
A lot of players I think on that Panthers roster are from Canada or where have you, but there are a lot of it's Canada's sport, right?
Did you ever go down here to the Flame now, right? What are they called here in Fresno?
The hockey team?
The hockey team.
Oh, the Fresno Falcons?
The Fresno Falcons. Didn't they change to the Flame for a while?
Well, that was basketball. They were the Fresno Flames.
That's how much I know about sports.
We've had a lot of those kind of teams. They come and go. Yeah.
I've gone a handful of times over the years, and I got to say I should go more often because I love it. It's fun. You don't get into it?
No, my favorite hockey team of all time is the Fresno Falcons because they gave me so much access. They love the coverage.
Yeah.
Guy Godowski was the head coach back then. He's now the head coach at Penn State. They were just in the Frozen Four, top 4 college hockey teams in the country. They did not win, but Guy always gave me access. We mic'd up the players. We had to bleep a lot of their stuff out, but I love those guys. Jason Knox, Greg Spenrath, Fergie, all those guys. And then Blaine Taylor. And then they won the Taylor Cup.
Right.
Blaine Moore. And then they won the Taylor Cup, and it was a big party. And then we had them up at a golf tournament in Oakhurst that I emceed. It was a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Clubs. They came up there. We drank out of the Taylor Cup and had a lot of fun. It was a great team to cover. I missed them.
How do we get them back downtown, though, man?
Back to Selland Arena?
Back to Selland Arena.
I think if we had a hockey team, I mean, we do have the Monsters, the younger guys.
That's what I'm thinking of, the Monsters.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the younger guys, yeah.
But Selland Arena is just a special place when it was packed.
I know. Oh, it was great. Yeah. So lots of fun.
Missed that place for sports.
All right. You were with KC. I know we're not supposed to be mentioning these other affiliates, but I'm going to get in trouble here. But KC and then CBS 47. You went straight from college straight into this, huh?
I did. I started in December of 1990 because I graduated from high school in 1990 from Clovis West. Went to Fresno City, took a broadcast news writing class. Faith Sidlow was the instructor. She was one of the anchors and reporters at KC24 and did the teaching job on the side. And we did an internship. We did a field trip at KC. And I just wanted to meet the sports guy, Brent Schweiger at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And he was in an edit bay. I just stayed in that edit bay. I didn't care about any other part of the newsroom. Just wanted to hang out with the sports guy. Turned into an internship like a couple months later, and they couldn't get me out of the building.
Really?
I stayed there. Even when the internship was over, you can come at night. No. Then we had a huge fire. The news director came in. What the hell are you still doing here? I was like, look, I'm just, I love it here. And so they got me a job.
Yeah, you could come at night. You could work for free at all hours of the day.
I did not care.
We appreciate it. Yeah, you didn't care, huh?
No.
How about that first time on air?
That was something because it was taped.
Yeah.
And it was a morning sports report that my boss bought for me. I had to pay her back with Paul Swearingen, of all people. Said, this is George Takata. He's filling in for sports. He won it during this contest at a fundraiser, and I got to do it. And you couldn't stop me from that point on.
Really?
Yeah. I interned for Paul and Brent for a while, Orrin Winnick, and all those guys. Lots of stories about that. And then it just turned into, a dream come true, my career dream come true, because I was not built to play sports. Right. I knew if I was going to be in this field in some capacity, I was going to have to talk about it.
What do you mean you weren't built for playing sports? You look like
skinny.
A big guy.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably, if I was this size
back in high school,
like 18, maybe, but not now.
You're lucky you weren't, because I've seen all those old football players. We are on with George Takata, your sports guy, right here on KMJ. We'll be right back on the Marc Kapetan Show right after this. This is KMJ. This is KMJ at KMJnow.com or wherever you stream. Hey, folks, listen, if you want to check out this show and send it to a friend, or if you miss any of the shows here on KMJ, you could go to the KMJ app on your iPhone or on your Android or one of those things. You could also go to KMJnow.com and look up the podcast section. Also, the Marc Kapetan Show. You could catch us out on YouTube, Facebook, and Truth, I think we're on. Instagram, yeah. Marcella's doing all that hard work for us back behind the scenes. So, yeah, please like and subscribe. Smash that like button there. George Takata knows that because he was, he graduated high school in 90.
1990, yeah.
You're Clovis West guy?
Clovis West, yeah. I'm a Golden Eagle.
We are on with Golden Eagle. George Takata, your sports guy here on KMJ, and the guy that his handsome face for about 23 years on TV news.
You're too kind. That's where my career started, actually. I
Where?
did the morning announcements at Clovis West.
Did it really?
George, yeah. George the Animal Smith, actually.
You were George. You just completely gave up your heritage.
I did. I'll tell you more about that later.
No. Let's talk about this right now, okay? Because is it mom or dad's obviously Japanese?
No, that's where it's flipped. So my mom's Japanese.
Okay.
My dad's German-Irish. I took my mom's last name just on a professional basis. Like all my bills, my checking account, my driver's license, Social Security, it's all Smith. So I'm George Frederick Smith IV.
You really are? Yeah. That's your dad's real name, Smith?
Yeah. And so my mom's maiden name is Takata, so I kept it in the family.
No kidding.
George Smith on TV or radio, not as sexy as George Takata.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue great.
Liked it. Oh, yeah. Because you have to fill certain, demographics or racial backgrounds,
Oh, I see.
So it worked out really well.
Yeah.
The name is in the family.
Yeah.
But it's not my real name.
Smith, there was some Smiths. I mean, I know it's a common name, obviously, but Dave Smith and a few other guys at Clovis West back in the day, no relations?
No relation to any Smiths or Takatas in the area. Actually, I have a cousin who lives with me now. But
Mom, you guys were from San Francisco originally?
Yeah, well, my mom's from Hawaii, and then my dad was a military kid, so they moved all over the place, but they met in San Francisco in like 1968.
What branch was your dad in?
Army.
Oh, in the Army.
Vietnam veteran. Yep.
My dad was stationed at Kaneohe Bay back in the day in the Marine Corps.
Nice.
There, I don't know if you know what that is on the Big Island. Or on Hawaii.
Yeah. Rings a bell.
Yeah, Kaneohe Bay is the big military base there. That's the guy right behind me right there.
Oh,
so
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, my parents.
So they met in San Francisco.
They met in San Francisco. My mom left the island. She wanted to get away.
Yeah.
My uncle, aunts live in San Francisco. She rented out a garage from someone in San Francisco, and so my dad was on a little bit of a leave, and then my mom threw a party in that garage, and then my dad and his Army buddy went to the party. And then when the party was over, my parents were running around on Stinson Beach by the Golden Gate Bridge, and that's that.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, they got married in January of 1972, and I was born September 8th, 1972.
Wait a minute. Oh, really? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that my same thing with my brother. My mom was born in about 8.5, 9 months later, and she swears, she would always swear. No, it happened wedding, honeymoon night. But listen, it sounds like one of those love stories, hippie love. Were they hippies?
I mean, I would say so.
Yeah.
Not Mom really, but a little bit of hippie.
But Mom was living in a garage, right?
Yeah. She was trying to get her degree and teaching kindergarten and all that stuff, and moved to Bakersfield for a little bit. So there was some Central Valley in the family before I was even born. Came back to San Francisco, and the rest is history.
I'm assuming she was removed a few times removed from Japan. That the family had already been living in Hawaii all those
generations.
years.
Yeah, she was born and raised in Hawaii with her three brothers. So my mom is the oldest of four. 3 brothers, no sisters. My dad's the youngest of 3, 2 sisters, no brothers. It's just really weird how that all works.
Do they still have family back in Hawaii?
Yeah.
What city?
Yeah, on the Big Island. So I have family in Honolulu, and then on the Big Island in Kona.
Kona, yeah.
Yep, and then in Hilo as well. My grandmother, we just had her service a couple months ago. She died. She was 101.
101.
Yeah, she died last year, but then we waited for the 1-year anniversary to have the ceremony.
May her memory be eternal. And if she's like any other Japanese 101-year-old Japanese I knew, she was probably fit as a fiddle and everything.
Yeah, she was. I mean, at the end, not really, but she loved her Korean soap operas.
Yeah.
She loved her peanut butter mochi. She was hilarious.
Whoa. Hey, John Kapetan, my brother out there, we haven't had that peanut butter mochi? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes. I'm not a fan of it, but I had one in her honor at the reception.
It's not an ice cream mochi, just a mochi with peanut butter.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Do you go downtown to the place that's 110 years old now?
I do not, but I get the strawberry ice cream mochi at Sushi and Pop by Bulldog Stadium. Or by Valley Children's Stadium.
You're not true Japanese.
Well, I'm half.
Ice cream,
I have some flaws. Half Japanese.
No, this is the traditional stuff. They've been continuously down there. I'm going to take you down there. Okay. They've been continuously down there for about 110 years, seriously, making traditional Japanese mochi. I love it, man. I love it.
Is it Central Fish?
No, it's I can't say the name, Kongetsu or something to that effect, basically down there. Yeah, I swear I'll take it. We'll do it. Hey, 2 bachelors, we got nothing better to do, right? You've never been married?
Never been married. No, don't have kids. Have a girlfriend now.
Yeah.
But no, I've never been engaged, and I don't have any siblings, so I'm like the ultimate unicorn, I guess, with that.
No, believe me, there's 2 unicorns sitting here, and believe me, we're not much of a catch. Well, maybe you are, buddy, but yeah, he's got a girlfriend at least, so I'm still working on that, buddy.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Get with the program.
I know. Listen, I think 2 or 3 of them have been Japanese, quite honestly. So to call the cousins in Hawaii, man.
I'll hit them up.
Yeah, do me a favor, man.
See if anybody knows anybody.
Please. It's been a while. Hey, New York, Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. Are you doing these assignments there at the location?
When I covered Fresno State in the NIT, yes. And that was during the whole 60 Minutes Mike Wallace story on Coach Tarkanian and his recruitment of guys that he gave second chances to. I love Jerry Tarkanian. I always will. He had a big heart. And so when Mike Wallace came, that was the season that Fresno State eventually ended up going to the NIT and playing at the Garden. And I interviewed Mike Wallace live in the tunnel of Madison Square Garden.
Did you really?
Yeah. And then at the end, he said, "Say hi to the folks in Fresno for me." And we were live. I said, "You just did, Mike. Thanks a lot."
That's funny.
So that was one of the bright moments in my career. I interviewed Mike Wallace in Madison Square Garden.
You know, it's beautiful that you say that about Jerry too, because we had John Baxter from Fresno, the Bulldogs, basically special teams coach, and he calls us one day and he says, "Hey, can you do a favor? I want you to hire a Fresno State football player." And I'm like, are you kidding me? and it's not that he needed a second chance, because he's a great guy, Darren Newborn. And this was about 15 or so years ago. But he was just a sweet, nice guy who didn't have any family here and stuff like that, and was sort of on his own a lot. And we hired him, turned out to be the sweetest, nice guy, became I think he's now a captain in the Army.
Awesome.
Eventually, was thinking about law school years ago. But giving guys a chance or a second chance, because most of them, they just need a bit of direction, right?
Yeah, all it takes is someone to help lead the way. And, I've had a lot of those opportunities in TV and at Reedley College to help young men and women pursue like what I do, whether it was in TV or somewhere else in PR at Reedley College. It's always fun to see them get it.
Right.
If you teach and you learn, you show by example, and then they finally just clicks, and then you see them move on in the workforce. It's awesome.
And Jerry sort of taught you that, because you did you did a show with him for 2 years, huh?
Yeah, when he retired, we did it for 2 basketball seasons, and it was so funny because we were co-producers, and he would get all the guests. I don't know Bobby Knight, Digger Phelps, Billy
he knew
Packer,
them all.
all those guys that he knew. He's, "I'll take care of the guests." I said, "That's fine." But we'd be 10 minutes before the show starts. Say, "Who's on?" "Well, I'm waiting for a call." I said, "You're waiting for a call?" We're just going to be talking like just the two of us.
Yeah, but
someone will call, and sure enough,
look who he drew. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get better guests than he did. And it was we developed a friendship.
Yeah.
And after he retired from Fresno State, or was shown the door, however you want to see it.
Yeah,
but I love the guy. I miss the guy. He was just fun to cover. Those teams kept you busy. With their backgrounds in the past.
A lot of stories I'm sure he had.
Yep. With Chris Herron and his struggles and all the other stuff. Samurai swords. It was crazy, but man, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Salem Arena was rocking at that point.
We'll be right back with George Takata, your sports guy right here on KMJ, and the face you saw for many, many years. Okay, we'll be right back after this. This is the Marc Kapetan Show on KMJ. This is News Talk 580 1059 KMJ. Also, KMJ at KMJnow.com or wherever you stream. Welcome back to the Marc Kapetan Show. Folks, you know the drill. If you've been injured in an auto accident, a truck accident, or a motorcycle accident, Marcella, who do you call?
The Kapetan Brothers.
Kapetan Brothers Law Firm. Yeah, listen, if you've been injured in an auto accident, a truck accident, or a motorcycle accident, call the Kapetan Brothers at 559-498-8000. I'm serious, folks. If you've been injured in an accident, the best thing you could do is pick up the phone and call your local attorney. I'd appreciate it if you call the Kapetan Brothers. We'll ease your concerns. If you have a friend who's been injured in an accident, give us a call. We'll ease your concerns. We'll answer your questions. What did someone say a couple days ago? They loved us because we care. We actually feel, they knew that we cared about their cases and stuff. So yeah, absolutely, folks. 559-498-8000. We're back on with George Takata. He is your the face you saw nightly for 23 years as your sports reporter. Hey, was it just a pain you had to shave? I see a little scruff here. I think that's the first time I've seen that too.
Once I left TV, I was not shaving as much as I used to. I did the morning show at KC24 after I left CBS 40. So, we merged.
Yeah.
We're a duopoly now, and they still are. CBS 47 and KC24 in the same building. They use the same reporters, same content, all that stuff. But after I left sports, for 4 years, from 2013 to 2017, I was the morning show anchor with Karina Corral and Heidi Wagoner, and then became Lauren Wallace and Matt Ottstott, and we had a really, really great team. Rob Johnson, and then I left to go to Reilly College, but I did not like getting up at 2:30 to be at work at 3:30 to wear a suit at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
and shave
nuts.
every day. That was like the Yankees. You can't have any facial hair.
Until
they changed that policy. And then you always had to wear a tie and that early in the morning, not really my cup of tea, but I did it for 4 years, and I'm proud of the work I did when I was there.
Absolutely, yeah. Matt Ottstott was here at KMJ for many years. Man, that guy's a talented dude.
He is.
Yeah, great guy, funny, just hilarious. Yeah. Okay, listen. Hey, by the way, Clovis West. Who was your favorite teacher at Clovis West? Do you remember? Am I going to put you on the spot?
No. Who was my favorite?
Did you have a guy named Rumley, Mr. Rumley?
No, but he was there. Mr. Deal. Yeah, he was my. My gosh, what did he teach? Economics teacher.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. Pettengill was my Spanish teacher. I liked him. Mr. Ritter was our journalism.
Yeah, you're
teacher,
later. You're later than I was.
So I still call him Mr. and Mrs. and all that. Like at the Clovis Rodeo, my counselor was Linda Stockwell at Clovis West.
Yep.
Now she volunteers at the Clovis Rodeo. There's a ticket booth, and I saw her just a couple months ago to pick up our packet. I said, Mrs. Stockwell, how have you been? You can call me Linda now. I said, nah, can't do it.
I said the same thing to Mike Rumley. You could call me Mike. Yep. No, I can't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I
get it. All right. I wanted to listen. I had to go back because you said your favorite moment in your career as a sports reporter was
the Diamond Dogs winning the national championship.
The underdogs to wonder dogs. 2008 College World Series.
So much fun.
I go back and I watch it. And it's, last 3 outs, top of the night. Coach pulls Clayton Allison. He puts in Brandon Burke, basically, as the closer, basically. And there's already 2 guys on. And there is, I think he walks one of the guys, and then there's a double play, which is just spectacular. Then he walks the guy. And then there's a final catch. Are you at the game?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. And here's the story.
Okay.
So we're down in the tunnel, the old Rosenblatt. Now they're playing in a newer stadium. So
Right.
the old Rosenblatt's gone, but we were there in 2008. So we're in the tunnel. We can't really see out because there's stairs, tunnel, dugout, field. The ESPN crew says to us, to the local crews, which was us and all the other
Right.
my colleagues from this area, you guys have to wait here. ESPN does the interviews on the field. Then when they're done, you can go on the field. So I said, thinking to myself, well, I'm a Fresno State alum. I don't want to just miss it because my vantage point, I couldn't see the game. So I said, we have to stay here? The producer said, yes, that's right. So me and Chris Nieto went right back up the stairs and said, we're going to see this ninth inning with our own eyes. And so we went up to the concourse area and saw the final out. And, you get a little emotional, and you got to be very neutral when you cover stuff like this.
You can't. I mean, with that, especially if you're a Fresno State alum. I mean, it was so exciting. I didn't realize that was the first men's championship in any sport that Fresno State had ever won.
I think there was a track and field team in the 60s.
But I mean, as far as a team sport like that,
it was magical. They weren't favored to win. They were the 8th seed out of 8 teams at Rosenblatt in Omaha, and they just kept pulling it out.
Did you jump onto the field?
No, because you got to be professional, right? So I did get a little emotional, teary-eyed. The final out. All right, Chris, let's compose ourselves, go back down to go do our job.
Yeah.
And
who'd you interview first?
Oh,
do you remember?
shoot. Yeah, I think it was Justin Wilson who pitched just a really great game. And then it was a magical moment for the entire community. And the reactions back here at home, seeing that stuff on the news when I got back was just incredible to see all the it was camaraderie. That team brought this community together, and that made it special.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How young were you when you came from San Francisco to here?
Oh, well, I was born there.
Okay, right.
So, and then we moved various places when I was a little kid. My dad was an air traffic controller. He went to school in Oklahoma City, and then we lived there for a winter when I was 3. We lived in Needles. We lived in Redwood City.
Oh, my Lord.
This is not in order. We lived in Salinas. We lived in Sacramento, and I never wanted to leave Sacramento. I loved it there. And then we came here, and then my parents moved to Dallas.
So, but you were a lifelong Fresno as far as that's concerned, because you came here young enough that you did the high school and all that kind of stuff.
Well, got here in 8th grade, so we moved here in 85.
Oh.
And that's tough. I was 13 years old, did not want to leave. When you're 13, you're starting to develop friendships. Yeah. And starting to set a foundation, I think, in regards to friends. I still have a lot of good friends there in Sacramento, but I did not want to leave there when I was in 8th grade.
Marcella, so I tell all my friends about my abandonment issues because my dad was in the military. Yeah, we came here at 13, have no old friends as far as that's concerned, and you sit there and you don't want to leave all these. We were in San Diego at the time we moved here. And you sit there and you go, oh,
what was that like to leave San Diego?
Oh,
who wants to leave there?
My dad said, hey, kids, we're having a family meeting. Well, we're full-blooded Greek. We don't have family meetings. We just yell at the table, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, and a long story, I'll tell you one day, but my jaw dropped. My mom was from here, so we knew Fresno. Yeah. But compared to surfing every day, living on the beach, and then coming back to Fresno. But like with you, Fresno's been great to us,
Yeah,
and
very good to me.
Yeah.
And haven't left.
Yeah, and that's why I love doing these shows, because it's my little way of giving back to Fresno. You have had sort of a career change here. Yeah. Working for Reedley College. Mm-hmm. What got you into that? What made you finally say, I got to hang it up and do a career change?
Honestly?
Yeah.
I wasn't really happy with my salary.
It's rough, huh?
Yeah.
It
TV,
really is.
I mean, at this level, it's not what people think it is for many of us.
Absolutely. The people don't understand. You guys work like dogs, many, many hours, and they think part of your pay is the fact that you're on TV and you get to have the fame of being that recognizable face. And they don't realize
fame doesn't, pay the bills.
Pay the bills.
Right. So that had a lot to do with it. Which meant I wasn't putting a lot into retirement. So I thought about the future with that. And I said, well, what can I do? So Lucy Ruiz, who I work with at CBS 47, she told me that there was an opening at Reedley College for director of marketing and communications, a job that she had for 7 years. Yeah. Applied for it and was lucky enough to get it. And I'm going on 8 years there.
Oh, good for you. I didn't realize. I thought it was only been a few years. Yeah, good for you.
It's been amazing.
And you helped us out too, and I'm going to give all that and Reedley College and a little more with George Takata on our final segment right after this. This is the Marc Kapetan Show on KMJ. This is KMJ at KMJNow.com or wherever you stream. Welcome back to the Marc Kapetan Show. I'm going to pot this music down and get right back into it with our guest, the very handsome George Smith. No.
And a 5 head now. So.
Oh, you got the 5 head? I've had the 5 head since I've been a kid. Sorry.
If I had your hair, I'd still be on TV.
I do have a lot of hair, but I do have a little bit of. Look at this, man. My brother used to say I looked like that a Martian, like, you know, a big old head, round head.
Well, you want to trade? You don't want this.
That's too funny, man. George Smith. No, it's actually George Takata. So I know you let the cat out of the bag. If you know, you know.
Yep.
George Takata, the sports reporter extraordinary, who you've heard forever on Fresno TV and radio. So, hey, speaking of which, you said that you love cooking. That's one of your hobbies?
Yeah, I do.
Japanese food?
No, not even close.
Dude.
People love my hamburgers, man.
Oh, hamburgers?
Yeah, my mom gave me a secret. Put the Lipton onion soup mix and an egg into the hamburger meat and mix it up. Dude,
so what's sad right now, Marcella, is that I realize that I'm closer to his mom's age than to George's age. By the way, may her memory be eternal. I understand she passed many years ago.
Yeah.
How old were you, by the way, when she passed?
When she passed?
Yeah.
40.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still not easy, but
no,
it's a little
Mother's Day
is,
you know, as the only child, it's an emotional day.
Oh, you were an only child?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So that's our
Let's talk about those issues.
No. That's a different show.
But the fact that he said the Lipton soup with the egg, that was like a recipe that was on the back of the Lipton soup package, the dried soup package back in the day.
Oh, I thought that was just her idea. Shows you what I know.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I just let that out. Oh, sorry.
Man.
Hey, sorry, Mom.
What's going on?
What was her name?
Karen.
Karen?
So whenever anyone calls, you know, oh, look at that Karen over there, you know.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Sorry, Miss Takata.
Yeah.
I let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, people call, you know, Karens, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I hate that.
I get it. Did she ever teach you? Did she know how to cook Japanese?
Yeah, she made she made a good beef teriyaki dish.
Yeah.
But I missed her spaghetti more than everything. Sweet
spaghetti.
Sauce, put a lot of sugar in it. Yeah.
I did judo for years. Missy Momora Sumiko, she passed too. Really sad too. But she taught me how to make tomago.
Oh.
Do you eat the tomago?
No. Not a fan.
Oh, I love it.
Half Japanese. See, some
Japanese,
things you like, some things you don't.
You eat the German sausage and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
huh?
oh yeah. I can dig into that.
Have you gone back there, by the way, to Germany at all?
Have not.
I know you've been to
Germany,
Switzerland?
Ireland, or Japan. Went to Switzerland last year, but I need to, get my tail on a plane and.
There's literally only meat there. That's all there is. I'm telling you, you go to a 7-Eleven and there's like meat hanging, from the racks.
I love 7-Eleven.
Do you really?
Yeah, the chicken salad sandwich at 7-Eleven.
Hey, is that funny? I get the other one. There's another one.
There's an egg
the
salad,
Monterey something. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I don't. My girlfriend thinks I'm crazy. Like, I used to go there after work when I was doing sports. I go to the 7-Eleven. It's not there anymore, but it's on Shaw. It was on Shaw and West or whatever. Yeah. And I used to see this guy named Mike who worked the overnight shift, and and we used to shoot the breeze a little bit. I'd buy my sandwich, get some chips, get a little Gatorade, just talk to him till 3 a.m. when the other shipment of the fresh sandwiches came in. I don't know.
You know what's so funny is he's describing my life too, because that's a bachelor right there. It's like I knew George over at the 7-Eleven down on McKinley and Palm. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. Shoot the crap with him, you know. Oh, yeah. Too funny, man.
Get home at 3:30 in the morning, wake up at noon, go to work.
Absolutely. I get it. Yeah,
Fun
my
times.
buddy Richie Memori, he loves those tuna salad sandwiches over there too. Sports card collecting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many do you think you have?
Oh, I have a ton. I collect the local guys now, and my favorite players growing up: Ricky Henderson, Marcus Allen, Richmond. Then the local guys. I have a lot of Derek Carrs. I have a lot of Aaron Judge cards. A lot of Paul Georges, David Carrs, Trent Dilfers. I like the focus. Josh Allen.
Do you have that one? That one valuable, like, this is my retirement type card?
Not yet. I do have some that are worth my Aaron Judge cards because he's playing so well.
Really?
So some are probably worth $1,000. Maybe
really?
Maybe a little bit more because they're autographed. And the hobby is just so expensive now.
I had a buddy Greg Garfinkel in law school had, I heard like 100,000 cards back in the day. He bought a boat with one of them just recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does he have any more?
You know what? You want me to hook you up?
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that.
I have a lot of friends who buy them, and they make that their profession. Right. So,
okay, you're like everybody here around here. You're well, half the people are in Fresno, a Raiders fan. But
yeah,
big question: are you an Oakland Raiders fan, an LA Raiders fan, or a Vegas Raiders fan?
Well, I'm not from any of those cities, so it doesn't matter. But more or less, the Oakland Raiders were incredible because the fan base, the black hole, it's different in Vegas. Any visiting team, that's their vacation weekend. So I've been to a few games in Vegas. It's a beautiful stadium, Allegiant Stadium, but like it's split in half, maybe even less sometimes. Because I went to a Bears game. It was John Gruden's last game, and there were probably 20,000 Bears fans there. Yeah. So you don't have that home field advantage like you did in Oakland. So true blue Oakland Raiders.
But they were like one of the first. It was almost like, as a kid, I thought of them almost like an army. They were just so vicious and
renegades.
Renegades. Yeah, that's a better word. Yeah, just crazy. You've gone to Vegas then and watched them?
Oh yeah, a few times.
Is it just crazy? The arena there.
It's nuts. I mean, it's not as raucous.
Yeah.
Just because it's not Oakland.
Someone told me it looked like Mad Max movie driving out of that one of their games at the end when they were just finishing up in Oakland.
Yeah, because the tailgates were out of this world. There's a huge parking lot at the Coliseum. Yeah. There's no parking lot at all in Vegas.
Yeah, you go back to your plush hotel.
Just a spot for the Ubers to come and drop you off and pick you up.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not the same, but it's a beautiful stadium.
Reedley, are you involved in their sports at all over there?
Yeah, if I have the chance to promote the programs. I mean, I promote the entire college, but athletics, if I can get to it, I will. Football season, our men's and women's golf teams are incredible. They're always in the hunt for state titles. So if we're doing really well, I'll get out there and do my best to promote it. But,
good for you.
The main goal is to promote our programs and dual enrollment and
what's daily work out there for you, things. Basically?
That's what I love about it, is the TV is different every day, and so is this. Whether it's my meeting schedule, the committee I help run, or social media posts, go to an event, take pictures, do some videos, interview staff, faculty, students. I'm a big advocate for student success. Obviously, that's why I'm there.
Yeah.
First and foremost. So our Associated Student Government, I work with them. Our pantry folks. Basic needs for our students is big there, and we do a great job, or they do a great job of that, and I love to promote that.
We listen, and I want to thank you. Marcelo wants to thank you too, because you helped us out with Jose Hernandez, the astronaut,
at the STEM conference.
At the STEM conference, and I went to that thing, and man, what a really well attended and well organized thing you guys had there.
Yeah, our STEM staff does a great job.
Science,
technology, engineering, and math.
In math,
yeah,
beautiful thing. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's eye-opening for the kids. Hopefully, they get a great experience out of it. It's overwhelming because almost every classroom is being used for that in the math science building and in some of the wings. But it's well worth it. At the end of the day, you're exhausted, but it's worth it.
It's a great little town, and to provide that type of access to people who are successful, especially a guy like Jose Hernandez, the astronaut, is just wonderful. All right, the future. I love this. Basically quote from you for the future. You say, I'm just a regular guy with a cool job trying to keep mom's legacy of love alive.
That's it. Social media post. I think that's on my Twitter page. Is that what it is? Or?
Yeah.
That's my goal. Like, to keep my mom's legacy of love alive. She left a tremendous hole in my heart when she left. Any parent, that happens.
But she had that spirit of aloha, that Hawaiian spirit.
She got along with everybody. Took care of me and my dad. We were her priority. And I miss her tremendously, but she still lives on. And I keep her memory alive. It's a social media post. I talk to her every day. Those things.
Oh, you do? You talk to her every day?
Yeah, I have a picture. So when I bought my house, it was being built. So we have these wood pillars. And I wrote "Mom" on it, and then I put a picture right there.
Well, Mom,
when the wall was done.
Karen out there.
Yeah,
you raised a great son. So
appreciate it.
George Takata, your sports reporter for KMJ. It was wonderful having you on the show. Thanks
for having me, Mark. I appreciate it.
We'll see you next week on the Marc Kapetan Show. Thanks to my wonderful, lovely producer, Marcella Solorio Taylor. This is KMJ.